valuable opportunity to nominate his replacement, but timing will be of the essence.
In the Senate, we want to be deliberate. We want to move quickly. We want to get this done as soon as possible.
That's Senator Charles Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, indicating that the Democrats know any nominee must secure 51 of the 100 votes available in the Senate to become a Supreme Court justice. The Senate is currently split 50-50. The tradition of nominees securing bipartisan support appears largely to have shattered, and the Republicans hope to regain control of Congress in this November's midterm elections. Senator Schumer says President Biden is poised to make an historic pick.
President Biden stated that he would choose a black woman, and I expect he'll follow through on that.
And the Republican leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, said his party will wait for the nominee to be revealed before jumping to any conclusions.
We'll take a look at who the new nominee is and decide later whether or not to support.
But Republicans will salivate at the possibility of blocking the president's nominee from reaching the bench, and Democrats must get the process complete before November if they want to take advantage of the knife-edge majority they currently enjoy in the Senate. With
And I expect he'll follow through on that.
And the Republican leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, said his party will wait for the nominee to be revealed before jumping to any conclusions.
We'll take a look at who the new nominee is and decide later whether or not to support.
But Republicans will salivate at the possibility of blocking the president's nominee from reaching the bench, and Democrats must get the process complete before November if they want to take advantage of the knife-edge majority they currently enjoy in the Senate. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
A reminder for you of our top stories. The United States has rejected Russia's demands to bar Ukraine from NATO. The military alliance sent Moscow written proposals in a bid to defuse the crisis along its borders with Ukraine, where 100,000 Russian troops have amassed, sparking fears of an invasion. India is hosting the first meeting of the India-Central Asia Summit, and Australian scientists have discovered an unknown spinning object in the Milky Way unlike anything seen before. That's the latest feature story news. I'm Benji Haya in London.
Wish I was in London. Wish I never had to hear Mitch McConnell's voice again.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. You know, something might happen. Will somebody poke me and see if I'm still alive?
I have a Nancy Pelosi imitation too. I'll do that in a little bit. Let's do this. Good morning. It's 7:28. I like to be equally just in my impersonations of people. Yeah. So whether,
nice.
Both sides of the aisle, pick on them.
Yes, sir.
There we go. 7:29 now. We've actually skipped forward a minute. Wow. It is KCHW 102.7. Scott and Alan live on the radio. Alan on one side of the building and me on the other.
So we holding the whole thing down.
We really just, because we can't stand each other.
Right.
We're in the same room. We start fighting. All right. How you been? We've missed you on Thursdays.
I've been in and out.
In and out. All right.
I'm back now.
All right. When this is how happy I am that you're back. Yay!
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 Thank you, man.
All right. It's so hard. It's hard to do it by yourself. On the first Thursday, I just thought, well, Alan's out, Chuck's out. I'm out, too.
I'm out, man.
Yeah. But last Thursday, I did let a special program go the first hour. That's like that weird one took off. I'll apologize for that. If you're listening on the FM band. And, well, it's just, it's hard. And the last Thursday, I think I came on, I did some news and some weather. And then I actually did odd news by myself. But it's really hard. To do it by yourself because there's nobody to laugh at your stupid jokes. But I do bring in, I try not to do it too much, but I do bring the canned laughter from Dudley Moore.
Excellent.
Because it makes anything you say funny,
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Good morning.
Thank you, Dudley.
That's my alarm clock, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it really helps you when you get up. Oh, you got some coffee. How's your coffee this morning?
Yeah, that would scare me out of bed. Coffee is grand.
Especially if it's Brenda going,
right, yeah.
What'd she do to me last night?
Right.
All right, some weather as we get started today. 33, sun and clouds. Wow. we might have to meet outside the building for some fresh air.
Right? Yeah.
All right. 19 for an overnight low. Wow.
Chilly.
Chilly. And again tomorrow, 34 and 18, mostly cloudy. Weekend a little better, 35 and 25 for Saturday, partly cloudy. And 31 and 24 for Sunday with rumors of snow at 60% now.
Wow.
Looking at the Monday, 34 and 15 for an overnight low. Overnight low is really cool again. Partly cloudy skies on Monday and a 20% chance of snow. That's the way things look right now. Looking ahead to the following week, looks like partly cloudy and mostly sunny days and continued mild temperatures with hardly any snow in the forecast. Very, very slim percentages. So,
Nice.
All right,
Nice.
kind of a weird transition into February, where usually we just get hammered with a blizzard on Groundhog's Day, just to show that nobody's seeing their shadow.
Is that pretty normal around here?
It seems like it had been for the past few years, but it's like this winter kind of shifted a little bit.
Right.
Got
Because this is like my third winter here, and the first two were really kind of mild.
Yeah.
And this one seemed to be a little bit stronger and earlier.
So now I had gotten pictures right before I moved here in 2009. It was like 2008, and they had a huge winter. Buddy in Spokane sent me a picture of like 3 feet of snow on his deck, maybe more.
Oh, wow.
And people were really talking about it for a couple of years after that. But I haven't seen a storm like that since I moved back.
Really?
Now, when I was a kid, we had the traditional here in Chihuahua, every January for about 2 weeks, you had the sub-zero temperatures.
Sure.
And a lot harder winters, but it seems to have, I won't say the word climate change, or what I like to call climatosis.
We had a good 2 feet on our roof.
Yeah, so we've had a good winter this year.
Yeah, it was pretty good
It's
winter
kind of
this
shrunk up and then just went stagnant, but that's okay. I was getting tired of plowing.
Right, and I sold my snowmobiles just before snow season this year, too.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Picking the appropriate time to sell something.
Yeah, but it was to a friend, and I let him go at a very nice cost.
Well,
so
foolish. Always buy low, sell high. Come on.
no, it was good.
Come on. It was good. Okay, it's a good deal. And they get to enjoy them, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, man, Alan, you're such a nice guy.
Oh, stop.
Such a nice guy. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here anyways.
Thank you, buddy.
Russia. So I heard the news this morning, and I kind of wanted to ask you what you thought about Russia and them being upset. So we were waiting for the letter to be unveiled yesterday, and he said he doesn't. He's worried about the NATO allowing Ukraine in.
Right.
And I kind of see where he wouldn't really want NATO up his nose.
Yeah, and you kind of can't blame him for that. I don't really 100% understand what NATO's function is, and don't really care to know what their function is.
It's a group of countries that are willing to go to war with each other.
Right, but I mean, yeah.
Peacekeeping force, that's what we call it.
Right.
Uh-huh. All right. But I thought
yeah,
there were...
I don't know about that whole situation over there. I kind of feel like China is more of a concern, and I feel like North Korea is more of a concern. China has subsonic missiles right now, and we do not. And Korea has launched, I think,
How
6
many?
missiles. Yeah, 6 missiles so far since the beginning of the year, which is about what they launched for the entire year last year. And rumor has it they're working on their own subsonic missile.
Well, and they're obviously trying to make them better and better and better, which is kind of scary too.
Right.
And the last one almost reached Japan, so you know what they're trying to do.
Right. Yeah. So I think, honestly, I think that's more of a concern right now. I think, I don't know, Russia, it's scary. It's scary because everybody's going rampant out there, and from what I watch, it's because we've shown signs that we have a weak government at the moment.
You think?
Yeah. So.
Well, no, it's just it's like the whole January 6th, whatever you want to call it. We are totally unprepared. There's been so many things over the past well, probably decade that have popped
Right.
up that have really shown that I think as Americans we have this belief that we were so secure, and when you can see things like that happen, you go, wow, really, they haven't thought a lot of stuff through, have they?
Right, right. And you know, it's kind of funny because you get the different administrations. One administration will pump a bunch of money into the military. Another administration will cut the funding for the military. And it kind of reminds me
And put it into
of
social programs,
right,
and then the next one cancels that, and we never make
right,
any progress
which is
because,
great because we need social programs, right?
yeah,
But at the same time, if I mean, it takes you back to the art of war from Sun Tzu. If you want peace, prepare for war.
yeah.
And we historically we go back and forth on that issue so much. I mean, we had an entirely rebuilt military with the funding that they needed to develop what we needed to develop, i.e., sonic missiles. But now funding's cut, and we're not working on developing that. So we're actually, as far as technology goes, we're behind the times.
Well, and we send all this money out of our country, and our own country's infrastructure hasn't been updated since the '60s. You know, but we ship billions and billions and trillions of dollars out of our country instead of taking care of it. And all of a sudden, it's an issue to
you
build a
know,
new highway.
right? And we do a ton of humanitarian aid, which is fantastic. I fully agree with that. You know, but at the same time, how much humanitarian aid can you give to other countries when you're ignoring your own veterans and your own homeless? You know, I mean, we should be focusing on the U.S.
Our beds should be all made before we go out and make other people's beds.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we shouldn't be supporting other economies either. And well, I mean, China's an example. The whole COVID thing kind of made people look at this and say, hey, we're really reliant. We're still reliant on China for the raw materials to make our vaccines.
Yes, that's
e- e-
crazy.
Every COVID test that I've bought, right, and I've bought probably 4 or 5 different brands of COVID tests. Every single one of them is made in China.
I don't get it when that came out that they were making all our pharmaceuticals, and everybody went, and
Yeah,
then nothing happened.
It's absolutely insane. No wonder our COVID response was slow. You know what I mean? It was with Operation Warp Speed. It was faster than any other vaccine we've ever put out, which is fantastic. But just the reliance on other countries for our materials that
Well,
we need here in the U.S. There's certain things that should not be outsourced. Period.
people are always talking about, and you mentioned them too, is this fear of China and going to war with them. They could wage war on us, and we wouldn't even know till we swallowed the pill.
Right, right, right. And who's
And
to
it's
say,
every pill
and-
that's out there, from your aspirin to your pharmaceuticals to your
Right.
antibiotics. It's every pill.
And these tests, I mean, can you really trust them? Seriously,
Obviously,
I mean,
I've had so many things, even from people that are friends that have had COVID and went into the hospital. Where you know, in the beginning, I had a buddy. He went in and first it was negative test, positive test, negative test. Well,
Right.
what is it? You know, obviously he
Right.
was sick, so yeah.
right.
So
right.
you had
and
you had some tests. How would you do? You think they're reliable?
I, I do think they're reliable. Because I mean, it's no secret now. This is my first week back from COVID. I had to take 14 days in quarantine, and I went through the whole COVID thing. So I took a few of those tests, and according to when I felt the symptoms and when the symptoms went away, the tests seemed to be fairly accurate.
Okay.
Right. So now I'm testing negative, which is fantastic. I've still got a few residual things going on, like a little bit of low energy, and stuff like that, as far as like side effects from actual COVID. But yeah, from the onset of the symptoms, I mean, from day one when I started feeling symptoms, the first test I took said positive. So,
Wow.
you
That
know,
scare you?
and it does kind of scare me. I mean, I've been a smoker for 30 plus years, right? So the first thing that goes through my mind is, oh, great, I popped a positive test. This is how I go,
What a horrible
Right.
way to go, right?
right?
Yeah.
And you think about it, and you hear all this stuff on the news and all the stuff that people are going through, but you really never get down to the numbers. I mean, bottom line, we still have a 99.9 7 or 99.7, whatever it is, percent survival rate on this thing. And that's without vaccine, right? Any death from it is a tragedy for sure. But really, you hear the only really stuff you hear on the news is all the bad. So that's running through your head with the whole COVID thing. And that's the first thing to pop in your head when you pop a positive test is you think, oh my God, I'm going to die. Because all you're hearing is the bad stuff. You never hear about the success stories and the treatments and the therapeutics that are out there that for whatever reason the government won't. I mean, look at what just happened in Florida. Florida was going through treatment for COVID with the monoclonal antibodies, and the government said, nope, they're not authorized under the EUA anymore, right? So
Yeah, they pulled them.
It's 100% turned into a political thing. These monoclonal antibodies are working, and because Florida is kind of bucking the system on that, they're telling Florida, no, you can't use those anymore because now the EUA has expired on those.
Yeah, they said the stuff from Regeneron wasn't working anymore on the Omicron variant. But here's the problem with that, too. How do you tell what somebody has? Because that test you took didn't say you have Delta, you have Omicron, you have BR.1. So they don't even know really what you had. So how can they pull those drugs that they said worked? Because you don't know what somebody has that's in the hospital, what variant they have, unless they do even further special testing.
Right. And we're at the same place now with the COVID vaccine that we've been with the flu vaccine, right? Yet there's so many different strains out there. They don't know which strain is coming. The efficacy rate for the vaccines right now for Omicron has dropped to like 56%, right? So it's way down there. It's only 56% effective. So, I mean, you're at the point now where if you take the vaccine, it's going to help you reduce the symptoms, and that's all it's going to do, right? It's not going to keep you from getting COVID. It's not going to keep you from spreading COVID, and they're not telling you all this stuff.
No.
So, and it's just
well.
crazy.
Here, I had a friend who had a beautiful point the other day. She said, "Why are they calling it a vaccine? A vaccine cures you or keeps you from getting sick. Period."
Right. If this had happened with polio, and
they should be calling it
still got polio. Yeah. I'd be asking some questions.
They should be calling it a flu shot because it's really not a vaccine.
It's a therapeutic.
Yeah,
is what it is. It's definitely a therapeutic, and there's no doubt in my mind. Hey, it helps some people get through the symptoms and stuff of COVID.
But it's not a bulletproof vest.
Really, if you have a strong immune system or a decent immune system, you're going to make it through this.
Was there any point where you were, besides when you initially found out and the fear that comes with that, at any point during your sickness that you were like, I could be in trouble here?
No.
Okay.
No, not for me. I mean, you get the upper respiratory thing, which is mainly in your sinuses and your nose, and you get the headache from it, and you get a fever here and there. But honestly, I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference between COVID and the flu with this thing. No. So for me, it was pretty darn mild. Brenda has a little bit of anxiety. She had COVID as well. We went through it at the same time. And she has a little bit of anxiety. So on like day 8, we came down here to the hospital because she knows the staff down here, and this is where she was comfortable coming to. And they were telling her between day 8 and day 10 is when you know if you're going to get worse or if you're going to get better. Right, so day 8 and 10 is a very critical day.
Wow, scary
so
that it even lasts
scary.
that long. Yeah.
It is scary. It is scary, and I see why they. I'm kind of. It concerns me that some people, because now they're saying you only need to quarantine for 5 days, right? And I took the whole 14 because that's how long it lasted for me. Right, it was like day 10 when I started popping negative tests.
So you didn't even feel safe after 5 days
I was feeling okay. I was mobile. I was up and about. I did spend most of the time in bed, just laying there, which is good. Rest is good for recovery, as with any virus or anything like that. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure people should be going back to work after day 5. They say you're no longer contagious after day 5, but I don't really think they know, Scott.
And that's assuming that you've got Omicron.
Right.
Again,
Right.
and you don't know from your test. So should it be
No.
5? And if you're telling somebody 5, like it was just a few weeks ago, I had some friends. Her and her husband both got it as well, and it lasted probably about 8 days for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of on the mark there. Now, he was like you, kind of mild symptoms, a little head cold. She got it bad in the chest. She sounded horrible. You don't, and again there, it
Right.
almost sounded more like it was Delta, what they had.
Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of a dangerous thing, I think, to throw out there. I have another friend he's going ahead and quarantining for the 2 weeks and dreading it. But I think that's probably the safe thing because you don't know what you have. I guess you could guess
Right.
if you had it bad in the chest, you probably had Delta.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a guess. Because
It is a guess.
Yeah,
It is a guess. And it brings us back to the whole thing, too. You were saying that if China wanted to, they could just kill us by sending us a bunch of pharmaceuticals that are loaded with stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, and that makes me actually think about the actual tests, right? Because we're getting all the raw materials and everything. Everything's assembled and produced in China, and we're shipping them over here and distributing them to the United States. Who's to say that the swabs that they're putting out don't already have the variant on the swab?
Oh, careful
know?
what kind of conspiracy theories we start
Right?
today, right?
And it is a scary theory, but I mean, these are the kinds of things that you think about when you're reliant on a country that is not your friend for stuff like this.
It's
I mean, this
crazy.
stuff should all be produced in the U.S. We should have our own raw materials. We should be doing this stuff in the U.S.
Wow.
If the United States government was truly concerned about its citizens, we would be a heck of a lot more
Wait a minute.
self-sufficient.
Our government sold our soul to China a long time ago.
Our government sold their souls. to
Well,
China.
and they
Right.
sold it out from underneath us, really. It should have
Right.
been. And I was screaming it for years. Is these companies that move out of our country to enjoy the benefit of child
Right.
labor. Right? Why aren't we
Right.
tariffing them for their products to come back in? Make
Right.
it so a company that had left our country no longer can sell to us because we're the big
Right.
consumers. Get them where it hurts, and it would have never happened in the first place. But
Right.
there was this mass exodus in the 80s and early 90s of corporations, American corporations, to other countries. We sold out
Right.
everything.
Right, and that's the one thing I don't care what you think about what anybody thinks about Trump or anything, but that's one good thing that Trump did do is he had U.S. based manufacturers moving factories back here. Ford moved back here, Chevy moved back here. They were going to open up plants and everything again.
He was actually applying pressure on people that wanted to take manufacturing overseas, and that needed to be done
Right.
a long time ago. And I've said that before. Trump had some great ideas and did some great things. If he could have just been nice about it, he could have made
Right.
everybody love him.
I
He
kinda
should have went
I
out with
miss the-
sugar instead of salt. People would have gravitated
miss-
toward him.
I miss the angry tweets.
Do you?
I miss the angry tweets. I really
Oh,
do. I really do. I mean, things were humming, and I look at how things are going right now as far as like the job market and everything goes. And it's kind of funny to listen to the White House touting, okay, we've made 3 million new jobs. Well, they haven't, because we're still not back to the jobs level that we were at before COVID hit.
And that's not and that's all a big smokescreen too, because
it's
it
huge.
never counts. How many people have been unemployed since the first wave?
Correct.
Right? And they're not getting counted because their benefits are gone. So they don't
Right.
even get counted in the numbers. What about all
Right.
those people living under the bridges going into Seattle? You can't. They're not accurate numbers because it doesn't count everybody that's
Yeah.
fallen off the books.
I just saw some pictures the other day of Tacoma, and there's encampments down there now. They're just as big as the ones in Seattle.
Oh man.
It's ridiculous. It's completely out of hand.
And just think about it. How many paychecks are you away from losing your house?
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
Scott, I've been living in a box for 3 months now. Just kidding.
all right. Somehow we started with Russia and ended up on COVID.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, that's
my
great.
fault, probably. I
No,
don't
that's
know.
all right. It's all right. I've never seen you soapbox like that before. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you very
Well,
much.
I mean, and regardless of what people think about my opinions or anything, I'm I'm one of those that's going to speak my mind, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to listen to what's on your mind too, because that's the way things get accomplished, right? It doesn't mean we can't be friends. It just means we disagree.
Well, and we're real good about that, where people unfriend each other on Facebook. Family members have broke up over, basically Trump and,
Right?
and
Yeah.
Biden, the whole election, Republican, Democrat. It's divided so many lines. But we're a good example of two guys that really, I think, a lot of times our views on things are totally opposite, but we still get along.
Right.
We can still like each other and just
And
disagree.
it's true.
Yeah.
I'm willing to sit down. I mean, words don't. You got to be careful how you use words, but at the same time, just because somebody uses a word I don't like or says something in a way that I don't like, that doesn't mean it's a personal attack against me or my beliefs, right? It just creates the opportunity for dialogue.
And a lot of people are afraid of being wrong.
Right.
They really are. They'll argue a point even when they've realized the sand below them is shifting. And there's been times where I've had an opinion that was really skewed because I hadn't had the facts right. And talking with somebody that had the opposite opinion actually changed my opinion. And, you can walk away and be happy about that rather than fight it and go, hey, I learned something.
Amen.
I changed my view. Yeah.
Amen.
I don't think that happens enough, and that's probably... I appreciate that about our relationship, that we have a lot of different views on things, but there's a lot of stuff we come to the same conclusion on, like pills from China.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Just a bad idea, however you look at it.
I agree. I agree.
All right. How about a couple other news headlines that might be a little more fun? I feel a little bit better now because there's a YouTube subscriber with almost 1 million viewers, and he was kicked off YouTube, so I don't feel bad about getting kicked off YouTube twice now.
Are we talking about Dan?
Yeah.
Poor Dan. Oh my goodness.
Let's go ahead.
Spotify's all up in arms too because of Joe Rogan.
Yes.
And Neil Young said
he's going to pull all of his music from Spotify because Joe Rogan won't shut his mouth.
Right. He said you can have one or the other, so Spotify said, "See ya."
And I don't imagine Neil Young's probably bringing him that much money.
Well, no,
And since
that's probably the
Joe
end of-
Rogan's sensational on purpose, he is bringing in viewers and dollars, right?
He is.
All right. Who's mouthy? Well, Bradley Cooper is. He says he replaced Leonardo DiCaprio in the new movie Nightmare Alley due to DiCaprio's insecurity and ego. And I thought, wow, what's that say about your ego?
Right.
And then Elon Musk has offered a 19-year-old boy $5,000 to take down his Twitter account that tracks Musk's private jet.
Oh no.
I think you're going to have to offer that kid some more money because he's as smart as you.
Man.
Uh-huh.
You must have one of those Apple AirTags somewhere on Elon's jet.
Yeah, he must have tagged it somewhere, something with GPS. How's he following us?
Something. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be funny. Funny stuff. Let's see. So January 6th rider called himself a patriot in court. The judge disagreed. 3 years and 8 months. Yeah, patriot doesn't mean you punch cops.
Yeah.
That pretty much do you in. All right. I think that's all the goofy news headlines I have. We're coming up on break. You feel like doing any trivia today?
Why not? Let's do it.
Let's throw out a little trivia at Alan and see how foggy his head really is, or if he's had the total recovery. At least you can blame it on that. I don't know the answer to that question.
Right?
It's,
Yeah.
Post-COVID
I'll tell you what. For
depression.
a few days there, it was kind of foggy. Monday and Tuesday, I was still a little foggy.
Very close friend got it bad. Went to the hospital. Got the antibodies a couple days before they said stop using them. And called me afterwards, and I don't know if it was a combination of things and made no sense. I mean, I was actually really, really sick. So here's a situation you could find yourself in. You're like, okay, my friend's really, really sick. He doesn't have anybody with him. His family's out of town. Do I risk? And I'm an at-risk individual, but I was really fighting with: do I go to his house because he's not making sense?
Right.
He's not safe. What do I do? And risk getting it and maybe dying myself. That was a really tough decision. And then
Right.
I remembered one of the relative, and I went through some steps to hunt them down because I had no idea what their phone number was or even their name.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I was able to hunt them down. Turned out she was a registered nurse and went and helped her uncle.
Oh, nice.
So
Good.
yeah. I'm so glad I put in the effort because I was like pacing. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And
So-
and
So
they-
you saved lives from everything from rattlesnakes to COVID.
I have now. It's been a good
That-
year.
That's a big, broad spectrum of things that you can save.
Yeah,
people
and
from
don't
those
forget that the night I flew, it was like it was during first wave, and I was just tired of being cooped up. And I took the Batmobile up for a ride. I was going to go up the top of the ski hill, and I didn't even make it much past the cemetery because there was crackheads blocking the highway.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Would have called the 911, took care of that. But I actually kind of played Batman that night in the Batmobile, so that was pretty
Nice.
exciting. All right.
Crime fighter
All right.
extraordinaire.
Got to keep the people safe.
Amen.
I wish I
Scott
had a-
lives in his own little version of Gotham.
Yeah. I always wanted to be a cop, but I'm too small. Yeah.
I am what I am, and I do what I do. A few guys make shoelaces, some lay sod, others make a very good living neutering animals. I'm a cop.
And I always wanted to be able to say that for real.
Too small to be a cop, too big to get on the space shuttle.
Yeah. I managed a campground one day, and or one time, and there was a truck driving around at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I tried to stop it, and it tried to outrun me. And so I just started cutting across campsites and stuff in my golf cart, and I blocked the road going out from this giant Dodge truck. I mean, they're either going over my golf cart or they're going to stop and tell me what they're doing and, driving around our campground at 1 in the morning. So they
Right.
stop, and I walk over to the car. I guess I could have got shot, but I drive. It was Wyoming, so I figured maybe I'm safe. And I walk up, and the guy just holds his badge out of the truck.
Isn't it like a requirement to have a firearm when you live in Wyoming
I think so, but
and Montana?
I
and all
I
those-
didn't think it through. I just jumped on the golf and I was like, should I take my gun? So I didn't think it through because it was 1 in the morning, and then I realized I could be in trouble. I do not have a weapon, and that's a really big truck, and all I have is the golf cart. But when I walked up there, he put his badge out there, and there was two cops in there, and they told me they were detectives and they were looking for someone. And I was like, okay, sorry, I pulled you over and made a scene. And
Nice.
the next morning, like 9 o'clock, I'm in the office, and here comes the sheriff.
Nice.
He rolls up in front of the windows and gets out of the car and goes, I heard you pulled over a couple of my deputies last night. And I said, yeah, I did. And he goes, well, you made they are now the joke of the station today. And I
no.
just was going to stop by and tell you, good job. And would you like a little light bar for your golf cart?
Sweet.
And then he gave me a little sheriff sticker.
Aw.
Yeah. So that was a joke, too, I guess. They were making fun of me.
Aw.
All right. Enough story time? Yeah.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Today it's my friend Alan Maloney.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Immediately. All right. Going to be some tough stuff here, Alan. Are you ready?
See how bad the fog brain really
Oh,
is.
fog brain.
So I guess unofficially, this could be another COVID test.
There you go. About a third of pet owners do this to their pets.
Oh, brush their teeth?
Wow, that was fast. No COVID fog there. Wow.
That was right?
Survey says ding, 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 ding.
Nice.
All right, and if you look at all of these created last year and laid them end to end, they would stretch for almost 200,000 miles.
If you laid them end to end of all the ones that were produced last year.
They'd reach 200,000 miles. I'm going to even tell you the company that produces them. You'll just have to tell
Okay.
me what it is. It's McDonald's. What did they lay end to end?
McRibs.
No, sir.
No. I have no idea.
Nuggets.
Nuggets. 2,000 miles of nuggets? Wow.
How do they actually know that? Because
I don't
nuggets
know.
aren't like a standard size.
Who
Some are a
sits
little
down and-
bigger and some are a little smaller, so that can't be exact.
Who sits down and does the math on that?
Yeah. Who's going to line up nuggets for 200,000 miles? Now, granted,
Wow.
no wild animal's probably going to eat them or anything.
Right. And they'll be there 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be hitchhiking someday when we're all homeless. And you'll go, oh, look, free nuggets.
I think I'm going to apply for a grant to study and see which lasts longer, a Twinkie or a McDonald's chicken nugget.
Oh, good.
Right?
In 1896, Bridget Driscoll made history by becoming the first person in the world to die as a result of what? Think of the year, 1896. First person to die from this happening to them.
Food poisoning?
No. People died from food poisoning way before 1896.
Well, I'm sure they did. As a result
I think
of
the dawn of time, people have been dying from grandma's cooking. Okay, sorry.
I don't know.
Grandma.
I've never heard the name Driscoll.
Okay, Bridget Driscoll made famous history by becoming the first person to die as a result of this. It was a type of accident. First time this type of accident happened.
No idea. Did he wreck his carriage?
You're so close, because it is the turn of the century. She was the first person to be hit by a car and die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Why are we smiling?
I don't know.
It's horrible.
Probably because they only moved it like a mile and a half an hour back then.
What, you couldn't move out of the way? Because horses went faster.
Oh, man.
She was actually hit by one on a London street. I'm sure it was tragic at the time.
I'm sure it was.
What do the following words have in common? Keystone, beehive, Wolverine, nutmeg, and sooner. Last one's probably gives you the most obvious.
Are they all? Well, no, they're not animals. They're all sports teams' names.
You are exactly correct. They are the state nicknames. For
Nice.
Keystone is Pennsylvania, Beehive, Utah, Wolverines, of course, Michigan, Nutmeg, Connecticut. I never heard that one before, and Sooner, of course, Oklahoma. I think probably Wolverine and Sooner probably the ones that seem the most clear.
Those were my flags.
All right, Spy the Lie. You're doing okay for brain fog. Spy the Lie. The logo for Google's Gmail email service was designed the night before it launched. If you were hit by lightning, you are more likely to lose your hearing than any of your other senses.
What?
You almost got me. Stop it. When the first TV show broadcast in color aired only 900. When the first TV show broadcast in color, only 900 people in the U.S. owned a color television set. So, which one's the lie? The logo for Google happened overnight. If you're hit by lightning, you might just lose your hearing. And the first TV show in color aired only 900 people had color televisions.
Let's go with the Google thing. That's the lie.
You're gonna say no, it wasn't. That's actually true. They
Really?
gave up the logo the night before, as well as the one about lightning and your hearing.
Okay.
I wonder why that is. Maybe because you get hit in the head and those little bones in there are fragile, maybe?
Probably.
All right. And so the lie, CBS aired the first show in color, and only one person in CBS owned a color TV. That's all they know. So it was just a gross lie that seemed like it could be true, and you fell for it. Oh,
I did fall for it.
Oh,
I'm gullible.
Well, I'm going to talk to you about some property in just a little bit then.
I'll bet you are.
Average American takes 12.2 minutes to do... Oh, no, we did that yesterday. Let's skip that one. Sorry. Let's going to skip that one, too, because I'm lost. And here we go. Seems I have the brain fog, and I haven't even had COVID yet. I think I'm the last one in Chihuahua, though.
Right?
As soon as it gets me, this whole thing's over.
I think eventually it's going to make the rounds to everybody.
That scares me. That scares
It
me
is-
because I've
it
been
is kinda
trying
scary.
so hard to avoid it. It's like sneaking around, trying to avoid your ex-wife.
All righty then.
The common office thing was almost called a dongle until researchers had a last-minute change of heart.
A common office thing was almost called a dongle.
I still wish it was. That'd be so funny because everybody'd be like, "Hey, I need a new dongle."
Well, I mean that little piece that you plug into your computer that makes your mouse wireless is still called a dongle, is it not?
Yes. So are you saying it was a mouse?
Sure.
Okay, then you're right. It was the
Okay.
computer mouse. They almost counted a dongle. And if you buy more than one, can you call mice instead of mouses?
So
I have a whole bunch of mouses, computer
if it's-
mouses.
If it's corded, is it called a dangle?
Yes. It's estimated that about 25,000 Americans live where? This is be a very unique way to live. I would love to do this. And, yeah, I don't know what else to give you for a hint. But only 25,000 Americans live like this in the United States. They live in this. It'd be a unique thing to live on and in.
On a boat, a houseboat.
I gave it away, didn't I? With
Yes,
on
you
and in.
did.
Darn it, I hate myself. All right, during the Civil War, these were used as coffee substitute.
During the Civil War, it was used as a coffee substitute.
Your hint is it's a kind of nut?
Hazelnut.
No, acorns.
Acorns.
I don't.
Weird.
Yeah, and now I want to try some acorn coffee and see if it tastes like coffee at all. All right, each year more than 10,000 Americans suffer injuries from or because of this item. You're going to have them around your house. A lot of people might have quite a few of them. Some people might even collect them.
See, I'm thinking tools.
Okay. No, it'd be
a book.
A book. Yeah, it would be a book, exactly. How do you come up with these things that when they're really vague like that, you always amaze me when you come up with the answer?
Sometimes I retain obscure facts like that because there was, I don't remember what the exact trivia question was, but there was like a certain number of people that were injured each year from books falling off of shelves.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of these occur in hotels, happen above the first floor, but below the 7th.
Towel theft.
You're warm.
Really?
Yeah, but you're not staying at the hotel.
I don't know. Break-ins?
Yes, most of these occur in hotels, happen above the first floor and below the 7th. Burglaries.
Wow.
All right. This gets updated 150,000 times a day.
The interwebs.
Which particular part of those interwebbies?
Let's say Google.
No, it's Wikipedia.
I was thinking search engines, but
2% of American companies offer this perk to their employees. Only 2%. Oh my gosh!
Offer this perk to their employees.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I'd probably get fired for demanding that it be a girl. This is a big hint.
So it's a position.
Yeah.
Right.
2% of American companies offer this perk to their employees.
Would it be I don't know, an administrative assistant?
No,
or something?
I said if I was to have one of these, I think more than, well, I don't know, because now you're talking a boss and a subordinate, so you're going too far. 2% of it, it's a perk, but it takes a person to deliver the perk. And I wanted it to be a girl. You should figure this one out. Okay.
Coffee is a perk? I don't know.
Massages.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to look into that.
Because when Ned comes in and wants to give me a back rub, I'm going to say no.
No.
I hate that guy. Average American needs 26 minutes to do this each day.
Take a nap.
No, sir.
At least 26 minutes.
26 minutes. What might you be doing for 26 minutes in a day? You do it for longer. Every day, 5 days a week. You do this much longer than the average person.
I have no idea.
Drive to work.
Okay.
26 minutes a day. Average person drives to work. That's gross.
Fair enough.
What do Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans, and Jacksonville Jaguars have in common?
They're all losers.
Yes, they've never been to the Super Bowl.
I guess I could have said it nicer.
Yes, you could have. That was brutal.
They're all losers. Emotional damage.
Wow. And this is like, going to be on YouTube and Facebook. They could hunt you down.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just 532 copies were sold in its first year of release, and it's a game.
Oh, I was going to say Hillary Clinton's book. Sorry.
Look at you.
It's a game. How many copies?
532.
532.
Now
copies
it's hugely popular, but yeah, confusing to some people.
Monopoly?
No, this one is one of those that requires probably sometimes a book to go along with it, so you can see who's cheating.
Oh,
you do this.
Scrabble.
Yes, I was going to say that your next hint was going to be you do it through mind games to me all the time.
Nice.
Yeah. Scrabble mind games.
Nice.
Almost 1 in 5 adults. This is your last chance. Almost 1 in 5 adults over the age of 30 say they still have at least one of these. Almost 1 in 5 adults over the age of 30 say they still have at least one of these. I have a whole shelf.
Action figures.
I'll take that. Looking for childhood toys.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Mine's are all Tonka toys, though.
Tonka's cool.
Okay. So I have a shelf, and the shelf does have a tiny lip on the top of it so they can't roll off.
Yeah.
But they're above my head where I sit. And I'm always worried if there was ever an earthquake, I'm going to wake up with all these metal Tonka toys falling off the ceiling onto my head.
So there was a house, when I worked for the city of Duval, there was a house in Duval. This neighborhood was like all the houses in there were kind of like old-timey Victorian kind of houses.
Okay.
And there was a few of them in that neighborhood that were rather eclectic. Right?
Okay.
But in the front yard of this one particular house, she had 2 different kinds of decorations on the perimeter of her front lawn. Okay? One was bowling balls, and in between each bowling ball, there was a Tonka truck.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird?
That's really weird.
It looked kind of cool. The way she had it done, it looked kind of cool, but it was bowling balls and Tonka trucks. Yeah.
Huh. That's some interesting art, but it turned out cool, so that's good.
It did turn out cool.
All right, we're going to go to break, deliver some national news to you, and refill our coffees, and then we'll be back with today's birthdays, odd news, and a little bit more if you stick around. As I head out here, I have a few fun things, Alan. Trending on Twitter, I can't even say it. Add a word and ruin a book. So first I have Sophie's USDA choice. How to potty train your dragon. I like this one. Girlfriend used to live here. Jurassic Trailer Park. I pretty much ruined that movie, didn't I? Green eggs and expired ham.
Ew.
Well, I've always been looking for the next one. Little Waffle House on the Prairie. A great song from this one, The Secret Olive Garden.
Nice.
Don't look at this one, Charlotte's webcam. And finally, Little Outhouse on the Prairie.
It's 8:13.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock tires, provide collision repairs, including glass, and they have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414.
This is KCHW, Chewelah, 102.7 FM.
You're listening to Northern Lights Public Radio on 102.7 KCHW, Chewelah, Loon Lake, Clayton.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, January the 27th, 2022. I'm Mike Clifford. With new restrictions in place, Texas will vote March 1st in the nation's first primary to choose candidates for the November ballot.
Republicans and Democrats will make their choices for district-based congressional and legislative offices, the State Board of Education, and judicial seats. The state's severe overhaul to voting rules already has resulted in glitches. David Becker leads the Center for Election Innovation and Research and believes early voting problems illustrate the need for legislative and other responses to strengthen the guardrails of democracy.
In this delicate time for American democracy, and I do think we're as much in crisis in American democracy as we've ever been, perhaps in modern American history.
Texas election administrators already have rejected hundreds of vote-by-mail applications. I'm Roz Brown.
A Texas man recently arrested in Travis County for allegedly sending threatening election-related communications to government officials on January 5, 2021. It's the first criminal case brought by the Justice Department's Election Threats Task Force. And changes to a student loan program for public service employees is transforming the lives of folks in Montana who had their debts forgiven. More on that from Eric Tegenoff.
In October, President Joe Biden's administration overhauled the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, which erases student debt for public servants after they make 10 years of payments. But certain loan programs and repayment plans didn't qualify for forgiveness, a major disappointment for many debt holders. The latest changes open the door to as many as 500,000 Americans. That includes Violet Hopkins, an academic advisor at the University of Montana who had about $80,000 in debt negated.
I was in shock. I'm just sort of like making sounds at my husband. Like, they forgave all of it. It's gone. It's all gone.
Organizations have been pushing for alterations to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, including the Montana Federation of Public Employees, which won a victory in the state Supreme Court in 2020. The decision allowed borrowers to bring state law claims against their loan servicer for failing to accurately account for their student loan payments.
Public service workers can apply for a waiver to ensure all their student loan payments count toward the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Borrowers must apply for the waiver by October the 31st. And from NBC News, Democrats finally got some good news Wednesday, and it came from the unlikeliest of places, the Supreme Court. After a year of Democrats cursing the court as a place where President Biden's key policy priorities go to die, Justice Stephen Breyer surprised pundits and lawmakers alike by announcing his impending retirement from the federal bench. We should note it also gives Biden the chance to make good on his pledge to put the first black woman on the nation's highest court. This is PNS. Home-based care advocates say they are confident measures outlined in the Biden now-stalled Build Back Better Act will move forward in some form.
The legislation aims to expand access to services to older adults and people with disabilities, as well as boosting pay for workers who provide home-based care. Currently, more than 3.5 million people rely on Medicaid's home and community-based services. National Policy Director Connie Garner with Easter Seals explains that demand for home care has outpaced resources, and as a result, more older adults end up in nursing homes.
That costs more money, that causes more isolation. And that's not what we should have in this country. We should have the ability to have people be able to be taken care of correctly at home. And we have to be able to pay and support the providers of that care. They become an essential member of a family.
According to the research firm PHI, more than 2 million home care workers earn around $16,000 per year, and 1 in 6 lives below the federal poverty line. One report by the ICA Group found West Virginia is facing a troubling home caregiver shortage, with 1 caregiver available for roughly every 11 clients. In Washington, lawmakers say portions of the Build Back Better Act will likely pass this year, but it remains unclear whether the $150 billion earmarked for Medicaid HCBS will remain intact. Nadia Ramlagan reporting.
Governor Tom Wolf signed a bill into law Wednesday. It provides direct support to Pennsylvania's youth experiencing educational instability to ensure they have a clear pathway to high school graduation.
Senate Bill 324 was introduced by State Senator Wayne Langerholk. It provides graduation planning and a smoother transfer of academic credits, among other resources for young people in Pennsylvania who are experiencing homelessness or who are in the foster care or juvenile justice systems. Rachel Miller of Pennsylvania Partnerships for Children says these students face challenges that often are outside of their control.
For example, changes in physical homes or moves between counties and ultimately disruption in their education.
I'm Emily Scott.
And apologies in advance, not ending on a high note here, but our Eric Galatis tells us new research suggests the Earth's 6th mass extinction event, on par with one that ended the age of dinosaurs, already is underway.
Noah Greenwald with the Center for Biological Diversity says the recent findings add to a growing pile of troubling news, including projections that more than 1 million species are likely to be lost in coming decades due to human activity. Greenwald says that's a problem because species make up ecosystems, and ecosystems provide critical services for people.
They clean our air, they clean our water, they moderate climate, they cycle nutrients, they pollinate crops.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service. We're heard on interesting radio stations, and you can find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
And just that fast, we're back. KCHW 102.7, 820. And Scott and Alan Milani on the radio this morning. Thanks so much for being here, Alan. We missed you on your 2-week hiatus.
Aw.
We did. Couple birthdays for today. Local birthdays, we have Kendra Peck and Jake George, both having birthdays. All the applause just for them. I like the golf clap. And here comes Mr. Milani with some celebrity birthdays for today. We got some good ones.
James Cromwell from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and American Horror Story Asylum is 82. Mimi Rogers from Austin Powers and 2.5 Men is 66. Bridget Fonda, single white female, and Jackie Brown is 58. Alan Cumming from Spy Kids is 57. Comedian Patton Oswalt is 53. And Rosamund Pike from Jack Reacher and Gone Girl is 43.
All right, a little bit of history. I call it Happened Today. We start off in 1756 when the composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in Austria. All right, Salzburg. Is that where Salisbury steaks come from?
Yummy.
All right. 1880, Thomas Edison received a patent for his electric incandescent lamp, also known as the bulb.
The bulb.
The bulb.
I wonder if they knew at that point in time how many people it would take to change it. Sorry.
Sorry. 1963, first inductees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame were announced. In 77, as in 1977, Vatican reaffirmed the Roman Catholic Church's ban on female priests. 1981, Ronald Reagan greeted the 52 former American hostages released by Iran at the White House. 98, be careful, Alan. 1990.
I'm going to get Hillaried.
Oh, you're going to get Hillaried. First Lady Hillary Clinton, Rodham Clinton, appearing on NBC's Today Show, said that allegations against her husband were the work of a vast right-wing conspiracy. And then they turned out to be true.
Yes, they did.
2002, in a State of the Union address, United States President George W. Bush described regimes that sponsor terror as an axis of evil, in which he included Iraq, Iran, and North Korea. Can you say Terror Alert Orange? Remember that?
Terror Alert.
Remember that?
Yes.
Every weekend, every time there was a holiday. Oh, by the way, it's Christmas, and we're at Terror Alert Orange, because,
Right. Yeah.
Because something might happen sometime at somewhere.
Horrible.
Maybe. Yeah. 2010, New York City's Transit Authority said it would investigate a video posted on YouTube that appeared to show a man on a subway kissing and cuddling a live chicken.
Aww.
And here comes your chance to apologize, Alan.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
I love that chicken. There's so many jokes you could make right now.
I was handpicked at the time.
I just have one I want to do, and I can't.
do you know why seagulls fly over the ocean?
No.
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Oh.
Sorry, that's the one dad joke I had with me today.
Wow. Special events. Bail yourself out.
Auschwitz Liberation Day.
Okay.
It's also Holocaust Memorial Day. Clashing Clothes Day. That's pretty much every day.
Yeah, for us. Mm-hmm.
Chocolate Cake Day. I can get behind that one. And Thomas Crapper Day.
And you know what that is?
I'm pretty sure he invented the commode.
He did. Yay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
You could be going in pits like they used to do.
Right.
All right. Number of the day is 14,000, and that's the number of Americans injured each year by office staplers.
Have you seen my stapler?
It's the one that put the hole in my thumbnail.
Yeah.
Oh, that would hurt, wouldn't it? Ouch.
It was a swing line.
I actually kind of have a thing for staplers.
Do you
Yeah, I do.
You should have been on Office Space.
I know. I have one that's like from the probably 1930s. It's all
Nice.
steel and chrome. It's beautiful.
Sweet.
Beautiful. Looks like it could be out for a telegraph or something like that, but it's a stapler. And it still works. And it works as a weapon.
Oh, no.
No, it's true.
Back when they used stronger springs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, if you head for bits and breaks, there's a bubble wrap story there waiting for you. And I have one about a guy, and I guess you could decide if this is okay or bad. Get used to your spouse's little quirks is a big part of marriage. All right. Do you have any quirks that Brenda had to get used to?
Probably, but she hasn't made them known to me.
She hasn't mentioned the finger and the
No.
nose? Okay.
No. No. I think she's okay with that.
Okay. She's okay. All right. One woman's having a hard time understanding her husband's bedtime routine. TikToker Chloe Tucker Kane shared how her British husband stores his pajamas behind the pillow. The internet is split over whether this is totally weird or totally brilliant. I think that's brilliant.
I don't see anything wrong with it personally. At least you know where they are, right?
Exactly. You're not going to have to hunt for them. You're not going to have to walk across the room.
Right.
Yeah. Not get in trouble for leaving them on the floor because they're
Instead
behind the
of
pillow.
Instead of putting mine in a drawer, I usually set them on top of the nightstand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's better, under the pillow.
Right.
And if
Right
she has
there.
a problem when she makes the bed, if the pillow's being different, heights, she could just put something under her pillow.
Absolutely.
All right. Online today, Ron checking in. He does almost every day. Thank you, Ron. And Ron gave us a 10 for today. He's little guy
Nice.
holding up a 10 sign. So I think that
Thank you,
means
Ron.
that we get the highest score possible today.
Excellent.
Totally undeserved, but thank you. It is kind of undeserved. All right. The history of bubble wrap, as told to us by Alan Milani.
So the story begins in 1957 in a garage in Hawthorne, New Jersey, with two engineers, Mark Chavanez and Al Fielding. Mark and Al were trying to make a plastic wallpaper with a paper backing. Surprisingly, this product did not take off. They realized, however, that their invention could be used as a cushioning packaging material. At that time, only abrasive paper products were used for packaging, and they did not suffice for cushioning heavy or delicate items. Mark and Al raised $9,000 to fund a developmental production line, and they incorporated their bubble wrap company, Sealed Air Corporation, in 1960.
Oh, I love bubble wrap. Oh,
good for them.
All right. The history of bubble wrap. All right, I've got one here. The perks, I'm getting close to this, and I was going to do it yesterday for Mike Benz. So you know it's going to be good.
Yes.
All right. These are the perks of being over 60, and I'm creeping up on this fast. When they say time goes faster as you get older, it does. Oh, all right. Perks of being over 60. In a hostage situation, you're likely to be released first.
This one is of absolutely no value.
use. Yeah. Mhm.
Let him go.
No one ever expects you to run anywhere.
Nobody's expected that from me in a long time.
That's right. People will call at 9 and ask, "Did I wake you?" 9 p.m. Yeah.
Or 9 a.m. either.
No, 9 a.m. They know you're up. You're old. You get up at like 4.
This is true.
Yeah.
Oh, dark 30.
There's nothing left to learn the hard way.
Fair enough.
All right. More things that are perks for being over 60. Things you buy now will not wear out before you die. I'm going to have these shoes forever.
That's not necessarily true.
Man, because socks and underwear might not make it. Depends.
Yeah.
Depends.
It depends.
You eat dinner at 4 p.m. and beat the rush.
You're so poised.
Because you're going to bed at 6. So.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
You no longer think of speed limits as a challenge. This has already happened to me. You sing along with the elevator music.
And you know the words.
Yeah. You got, and that's really scary when you hop in the elevator and they're playing Judas Priest like it's okay.
Are there any elevators here in Chihuahua?
I don't think so. Well, we have a giant elevator building.
Do we?
Yeah. By the feed store, the elevator.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
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 But no, there used to be on the upstairs of the building above, Valley Drug, and they're upstairs.
Right.
There used to be like a chair that would go up that level.
Oh.
So I think it's still there.
I wonder
could
if
be
they
wrong.
haven't. Is there an elevator at City Hall?
Yeah, there is. There you go. Ding,
There
ding,
we
ding,
go.
ding, ding. All right, we do have an elevator in Chihuahua.
Winner, winner.
All right, your joints are more accurate than the meteorologists at the National Weather Service.
True story.
True story.
True story.
True story. All right, tell me things that women were asked, because I need help.
Women were asked what matters most to a man. And according to their rankings, brains came in at 81%, looks were only 14%, and money was at 5%.
Sweet for Scott.
Right? Look at the big brain on Scott.
Well, they said it was important, but they didn't say how big the brain had to be or how well it had to work.
Right.
Yeah, you just got to have
Right.
some. Okay.
Just said you got to have one in there.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
They were asked during a flight, a man should do what?
Fight. And a fight, not a flight.
Right.
Okay.
During a fight. Okay. Yeah.
During
okay.
a fight. Okay. Does that make
My bad.
Okay. Keep going.
So coming in first was talk it out for as long as she wants to talk at 38%. Stand up for what he believes is right, even if it means the fight continues, is at 31%. Grab her in the middle of it and kiss her passionately, ranked 24%, and apologize immediately came in at 7%.
Huh. I thought that would have been number one.
I would think so too.
I've been having that all backwards.
Right. When it came to a woman's ideal man, over 6 foot, came in at 48%.
Oh, come on! Wow.
Between
That's
5 foot,
racist.
Between 5'7" and 5'11" was at 50%, and under 5'7"
Didn't even score.
didn't even score.
Oh my! I'm 5'4". Come on, come on.
Interesting. It's got to be like 2%, because there's still 2% left there.
Oh, I wish I could be in the 1%, but no, I'm in the 2%. It's
In
bad.
The 2%. Oh.
Man.
When a woman was asked if a man has only one skill, what should it be? Fixing things ranked 42%. Kissing was 34%. Cooking was at 16%. And dancing was at 8%.
Whew, I'm safe.
You're safe.
I can fix things and I can kiss.
So, ab-wise, women prefer men with a little belly at 53% and a six-pack at 47%.
Well, that's like 50-50.
Right? That's pretty close to 50-50.
Ding, 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 ding.
Right? Dad bod is ranking high.
I just got to figure out that whole 5'7" to 6 foot thing.
Right?
Do they make a machine that stretches you?
Buy taller shoes.
Oh, kiss shoes with long pants. That's what I need.
So, under a man's pants, what he should wear, women like boxers at 42%, boxer briefs at 31%, briefs at 20%, and nothing at 7%.
Where do I find these 7%?
I do not know.
That'd be some helpful information. Okay.
Too much info.
Okay.
When women were asked when you first met, what did she first notice? 49% said the eyes, 28% said the smile, 10% said the butt, and 7% said the hands, 6% said clothes.
Wow.
For that 10%, how is that the first thing they notice? The butt.
Yeah. You know what surprises me is I don't think we realized till COVID how much the eyes are the key to who you are.
You can tell a lot about a person.
Because, probably, fortunately or unfortunately, because of the radio, I get recognized a lot, or people sometimes know me that I don't know. But I've only had one time, I think, since COVID started, where I had to pull down my mask to show somebody who I was.
Nice.
Which probably wasn't a good idea. It just seemed appropriate at the time. It's Scott.
Right.
Oh, duh.
Right. There we go.
But most people, that's what I found through this. Most people recognize you even with a big old dumb mask on. Just by your eyes.
Right.
You might not notice that as much because you don't have any friends, but
Thanks, buddy. Yeah. Just you, and I know you anywhere.
Maybe that's it, because I'm the shortest dude in town. They can
Right.
always tell who I am. Probably has nothing to do with my eyes. I'm wrong
Could
about
be.
it. I think it probably is. All right, Groundhog Day is just around the corner.
Nice.
Next week. And just so everybody know, it's Groundhog Day, not groundhogs. We're not looking for hogs. We're just looking for one groundhog.
One groundhog.
One ground. Tradition can be traced back to Candlemas, an early Christian holiday. Those who celebrate Candlemas decided that clear skies on the holiday meant a longer winter. Germans eventually began to believe that if the sun made an appearance on that day, a hedgehog would cast a shadow, predicting 6 more weeks of winter. Excuse me.
What is it, like February 2nd?
Yes.
Yeah.
When German immigrants arrived in Pennsylvania, they found a large number of groundhogs. So they decided that the groundhog, which resembles the European hedgehog, could predict the winter as well. Wow. Puxatawney Groundhog Club was founded in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania in 1887 by a group of groundhog hunters. That's an exciting sport.
Nice.
Let's go out and kill really small creatures and pound them on our walls.
Right? Hey, at least this year we don't have to worry about de Blasio dropping them and killing them.
Oops.
Oops.
Total accident. Let's see. The editor of Puxatawney newspaper was a member of the club, and he claimed that Puxatawney Phil was the only true weather-predicting groundhog ever. Eventually, the furry Pennsylvania rodent known as Puxatawney became famous, obviously.
Yes, he did.
Way too famous. Way too famous. All right. A few more. These are things I worked on last week. They're non-inspirationals because, people are always trying to pump you up, and make you happy because everybody's depressed because of COVID. So these are non-inspirational phrases that I've come up with, okay?
Designed to tear you down?
Exactly.
Nice.
If you can stay calm while all around you is chaos, Alan, well, then you probably haven't completely understood the seriousness of the situation.
I feel like this might be a roast.
Doing a job right the first time gets the job done. Doing the job wrong 14 times gives you job security.
Any job I've ever had, the first thing I do when I get there is I hide because good workers are hard to find.
That's right. My brother started a job as a maintenance man with a big complex. It was like a senior housing complex.
Yeah.
And the very first thing they told him after his first day was he walked too fast.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Can't get everything done today. You can't.
Oh, no.
So just take and the guy actually told him, just take a couple tools with you. That way, if you find a tool that you don't need, you've got to walk back and get it. And then walk back at a pace. Don't rush all the time.
Might scare the residents.
Yes. And then he probably used this line. We put the K in quality.
Nice.
Eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked into jet engines. So be a weasel.
Be a weasel.
Yes. And more non-inspirationals. A person who smiles in the face of adversity probably has a scapegoat. Plagiarism saves time. If at first you don't succeed, try management. Teamwork means never having to take all the blame.
True story.
It is. Never underestimate the power of very stupid people in large groups. Much like January 6th, they gave people a bad name in general.
Congress.
Did
Congress.
Did I hear you say Congress? Did you say Congress? Aim low, reach your goals, avoid disappointment. Those are today's phrases, I guess. Mm-hmm. All right, 10 commandments according to Alan's dogs.
Uh-oh.
How many you got? No?
3.
3, that's what I thought. 3.
Well, there's actually 5 in the house total right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
Relatives? Relatives?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thou shalt feed me today more than thou didst yesterday.
True story.
Trying to make it sound kind of biblical. Thou shalt eat me with what? Thou shalt teach me with food, not big sticks and loud voices. Thou shalt walk with me every day. Thou shalt not buy furniture that I cannot sit on.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You got little dogs or big dogs?
Big.
Oh, so, like, do they try to be lap dogs?
No, not really.
All right.
Not really, but
I think
they
that's
will
cute.
look for that empty spot on a couch.
It seems like black labs need to be more prone to that. Like, they always want to be in your lap, even if they're 4 feet tall.
Yep.
Which is
One-
almost
one of
calls
our
me.
one of our dogs is a Rottweiler, and he craves affection all the time. He doesn't try to get in your lap or anything, but he'll sit right next to you and put his paw up on your knee or something, letting you know that he needs to be petted.
So this one works for him. Thou shalt not pay attention to anyone else but me, lest I feel unwanted.
That's definitely the Rottweiler. Yeah.
Thou shalt love me to death, even when I bark all night. Thou shalt not have a cat with attitude and claws.
I don't think a cat would survive in our house.
All right, the last 3 dog commandments. Thou shalt not start the car until I am in it. Thou shalt not hide food. And thou shalt obey the above without question, lest I poop on the neighbor's lawn and promote community strife.
It happens.
What makes you mad? People commonly do. What do people commonly do that irritates you, Alan?
Gosh. You know, nothing really pops to mind right off of the bat. Maybe chewing with their mouth open.
Ooh, yeah,
That's pretty irritating.
I get I couldn't. The only thing I could think of is when I'm walking to the post office and people are still speeding on Main Street, or don't
Yeah,
stop.
that's bothersome.
Yeah, that really bothers me. All right, other people posted people not using headphones when listening to music on their phone, so everybody has to hear it. People having conversations on their phone in speaker mode, or just talking loud. Driving in the left lane at a slow speed and creating traffic bottlenecks.
That's annoying.
Uh-huh. Entering the freeway at 40 miles an hour when the speed limit is 65 plus.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Not returning a shopping cart to the cart return. Ooh, bad. And, we love this one with COVID. Not washing your hands coming out of the bathroom.
Sweet.
Hate that guy.
Spread the love.
All right. Let's see. Happy marriage? Nope. I'm going to skip that one because I don't need that advice anymore. Don't do these things at your Super Bowl party. This is right around the corner, too. Okay?
Fair enough.
All right. Things not to do at the Super Bowl party. Talk politics.
Could be bad.
Could be bad.
Could be bad.
I don't believe this one. Tell a dirty joke. Depends on
At
where
a
the
Super
party
Bowl
is.
party?
Yeah. I think, yeah.
No, maybe if you're watching the game at church or something.
Don't drink too much. Get obnoxious. All right. Don't smoke inside.
That one is key.
Especially if the host said it's not okay.
That one is key.
And then what Alan said, eat and talk at the same time. All right, don't do
Yeah.
that. No food in your mouth.
No.
Don't talk or laugh too loudly. Come on, it's the Super Bowl. All right, I don't like that one at all. Never complain about the food.
It's all free.
These little smokies are gross.
Aren't you at least going to slice the Spam?
She got all offended when I used the word vomit and little smokies in the same sentence. But that's what it tasted like. Don't overload your plate at the buffet, Alan.
Bummer.
All right. Never sit down. I mean, you're watching TV for 4 hours.
Right.
You could have a stroke or something. All right. The Super Bowl party tips weren't very good. I'm sorry.
No, that was, yeah.
I didn't spend a lot of time on them.
Oh, no. We suck again.
We do. Oh, let's try some stuff written by other people.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
We hope. All right. We always start off with the news attack where the first sentence is true and the second sentence is another one of those bad jokes. I'm sorry I lied. It's not going to be any better. But Alan, will you kick it off?
I certainly will. Stephen Breyer, he's a Supreme Court justice, is planning to retire by the end of his term. There's some good news to this, though, Scott. It finally makes room for Judge Judy.
Oh, that would be awesome. Hey, did you hear the Supreme Court's going to get someone new?
I'd heard that vaguely.
Kind of scared because Adele has canceled her Vegas show.
Uh-oh. Could be in trouble.
She's really unhappy, too. Have you heard her music? So it's not going to be good.
Right.
Yeah. You ever hear an uplifting Adele song? No.
Not from Adele. Nothing that's been played on the air anyway.
All right.
A study found that 1 out of 10 women experiences pain during that amorous time.
Okay.
Sometimes the problem is physical, sometimes it's psychological, and sometimes it's because somebody's rolled over onto the remote.
Oh. You know what I have to say about that story is Alan Milani's a big chicken for skipping words.
Yes, I am, sir.
Big chicken for skipping words.
I'm trying to keep our PG rating.
All right. Is that why Mike Bentz always makes me do the off-color stories?
Probably.
Yeah. Study found that he realizes I was already off color. New study found that diet and exercise are proven to be equally effective at losing weight. So diet and exercise, good. You don't have to do both. Now if they could figure out a way that I didn't have to do either and lose weight, I'd be happy.
That would be awesome. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you know who Amy Schneider is. She's the contestant on Jeopardy.
Okay.
Her winning streak has finally come to an end.
Oh.
She lasted 40 games.
Wow, that's incredibly smart.
I don't remember what Ken Jennings was, but I think she was a bit longer. But 40 games, yeah.
Wow.
And never once did she need the immunity idol. Is that show still on the air, Survivor?
I don't know. I don't
know.
Shows how much we watch TV. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Researchers say U.S. marriages last longer than unions where couples live together outside matrimony. Right? Marriages last longer than unions where you live together outside matrimony. More proof that being able to leave your underpants on the floor can make your relationship stronger. Or putting your PJs behind the pillow, right?
Behind the pillow.
All right.
Yes. 4 British guys broke a Guinness World Record by playing a board game for more than 85 hours. And guess what, ladies? They're all single.
Wasn't me. It wasn't me, really.
God, I don't think either one of us have done anything for 85 hours.
That's right. 4 British guys broke a Guinness World Record by playing board games for more than 85 hours. You heard about this, Alan?
I just heard about it.
Yeah, nonstop for 3.5 days. Those must have been the Sam awkward trips to the bathroom.
Seriously.
Wow, 85 hours. Yeah. Huh, they must have really wanted in that book. On to Wacky But True. We don't add anything to these stories. There's nothing fake in them. Just a little sound effect at the end. Alan gets to lead us off again.
Nice. In Germany, police were conducting a spot check looking for drunk drivers. They pulled over one car and were talking to the driver when another car pulled up. Thinking perhaps there was a problem, he stopped and asked the officer if there was anything he could do to help. And in a way, he did help. Turns out the man was drunk and had just pulled himself over.
But he was trying to get a good deal. I mean, a good deed.
Hands up, I surrender.
Right? He's trying to do a good thing.
He was trying to do a good thing.
Maybe he's only helpful when he's drunk, though.
Maybe.
I tried to pick out a couple for this one.
You've been ratted out, boys.
Ratted himself out. And then after you get busted.
If you want to put a letter of reprimand in my file for that, then go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
En de France. In France, a 10-year-old boy who missed the school bus tried to drive his father's car to school. He got about 1.5 miles before he crashed. But he's okay. Oh, he's okay. Well, we could do the same sound effect again for the kid.
If you want to put a letter of reprimand in my file for that, then go ahead.
Yeah. Well, at least he takes school seriously.
Yes.
Police in Thailand apprehended a thief with more than 1,000 pairs of women's underwear in the trunk of his car.
I bet you're so glad this was Thailand.
Right? Police also found more undies at the house of the 48-year-old suspect. They said the man admitted to stealing and collecting women's underwear since the age of 18.
Wow.
Wow.
I'd like to see that collection.
40 years worth of women's underwear.
I bet he lives with his mom, too.
Probably.
Probably.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Not really.
He was going to make a big quilt.
Wow. I like this next story. I'm like picturing it. 2 female inmates in a German prison have been fined for a brawl that began with a food fight. Cellmates began throwing mashed potatoes at each other following a disagreement. Then one woman threw her entire plate at the other, who responded in kind. Then the situation escalated as, just like a movie, into a prison brawl in which both inmates were injured. So that's the first time I've ever heard of like a prison brawl at a female prison. Right.
And starting with a food fight.
Wow. You know what you'd say if you worked at a female prison?
Uh-oh.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Some lines that you might use at the female prison?
Has anyone ever told you that you look like a supermodel?
Giggity, 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 giggity.
And then when they saw how short and fat I was... And then the last one.
Give me some sugar, baby.
There you go. All right.
Oh, man.
It was really tacky, wasn't it?
Prison is not a dating site.
Darn it. I figured it'd probably be the best place for me because they're all confined.
You can't run away.
They won't notice that I'm under 5'7".
We just need to get you some taller shoes.
Kiss boots, long pants.
There we go.
Kiss boots and long pants. It's what I want for Christmas. All right.
Here's one for you, Scott.
Okay.
A woman in Hong Kong sued a hair salon after a hairdo turned into a hair don't. The woman, a bad perm, ruined her love life. She said stylists left her hair resembling a broom head and that it affected her love life and caused her depression. Bowl cut.
You know, she needs some compliments and some uplifting.
You look marvelous.
Yes. Or this one, which Alan, when I was getting him ready, Alan thought this one was for him.
You're ridiculously good looking.
He really did.
Yes, I did.
He thought that was for him.
It is for me.
All right, why don't you do the last story as well?
I can do that one too.
Okay.
Firefighters in Romania rescued a man 3 days after he fell into a sewer and got stuck. The man fell into the 25-foot hole while looking for a toilet in a field near a bus station. He says he'd been shouting for help for 3 days and thought he was going to die in the sewer. He was hungry and exhausted, but unharmed when he was rescued. Wow.
Wow.
I've been swimming in raw sewage. I love it.
Yeah. He goes back once a year to relive it.
It gives me my own individual odor.
Huh. That's right.
Eau de toilette.
That's right. If things are rough on you today, just remember you could be the guy locked in the sewer. How did he get in there in the first place?
It said he was looking for a toilet in a field.
And he fell in a sewer.
And he fell into sewer.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Wow.
Well, we shot a lot of people together. It's been great.
And that means today's show is over. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget, your Friday edition of the KCHW Morning Show includes the 2 idiots you are listening to today and Philip Dutton, which will be an upgrade from us. All right. Other than that, we want you to be cool and keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. A little side note. I don't know if you heard it, Alan. We just got, I haven't got the official piece of paper in my hand, but I can see it online. We just got granted an 8-year extension on our broadcast license here at KCHW.
Yay!
Yeah, very, very exciting.
That's
and
awesome.
We're also in the process of securing a long contract on our tower up on the hill with the new owner. So trying to, get everything wrapped up so we've got years to make you go crazy.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Other than that, I'm Scott.
I'm Alan.
And that's your odd news for
Thursday.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Wow! Wow! All I can say is wow! Surprise! Surprise!
You're ridiculously good looking.
You look marvelous.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Well, we shot a lot of people together. It's been great.